All right, I'm here with Kenny Palurintano. Kenny's Kitchen on Steem, kennysconsciouskitchen.com. Kenny, why don't you introduce yourself and sort of what you're about, what you do?
All right, well, obviously I'm Kenny. What do I do? What am I about? I'm about creating a world that's more loving and peaceful and free and healthy, really. All those things, which I think are all just four legs at the same table. I'm a vegan chef. I travel the world and cook for festivals and conferences and retreats. I'm a blogger. I've been on Steem since July or June of 2016, putting out content about literally whatever catches my eye, whatever I'm excited about, whatever I'm researching, whatever other people are asking me about that I hadn't thought about yet. I just put it all out there. It's just like long stream of consciousness, basically. I think really, I don't know. I don't really put myself in a box too much. Like, me now is different from me a few months ago.
Yeah.
Even in terms of what, like, kind of my main points are, in my talks and stuff. So, it's, I'm just about empowering others. And by being the most, like, empowered and aligned version of myself. Like, any time that I feel like I'm, like, wavering from my principles and my excitement, I just try to get back in line with that, and I try to help others see that too. Like, whatever excites you, whatever feels like it's really aligned with your vision for the world, that's what you should be doing, that's what you should be focusing on, that's what you should be talking about. And if you're doing that, you're gonna have a blast. It doesn't matter what's happening, you're gonna be having fun, you're gonna be enjoying it. And that's really what life's about.
Kenny, I couldn't be in more agreement with you, man. I feel like I've done 1,000,001 things in my life, and the only things that ever really bore fruits were things that I had passion in.
Absolutely.
Things require a lot of work and energy, and if you don't love what you're doing, you're gonna get frustrated, because you won't have that sort of like, that like deep sort of like energy source that drives you forward, that excitement, that like naturalness to your efforts.
Yes.
I'm totally in agreement with that. So why don't you talk about the workshop you did yesterday a little bit, and also maybe some of the other workshops, kind of how you get involved with people at these conferences.
Yeah, so yesterday at AnarchAWAKEning, we did, I called it Connections, Reflections, and Allyship. And basically, I've been doing this weekend-long workshop for the last year called Solsara, which is 3 days of connection and like learning to look within ourselves and see what's there and feel what's coming up for us and like share it and not judge it. And it's changed my life like drastically. And then I've been looking at nonviolent communication for quite a while, and my partner's really big in reflective listening as part of her like conflict resolution work. And so those two pieces came together, and I was like, okay, this makes a lot of sense. Like, we start with one of the big practices at Solsara is eye gazing. And we do some silent eye gazing, we do some speaking eye gazing, but like just that connection, eye to eye. And I was like, okay, that as like the opener. So we're in silence. And then the reflective listening, so it's like sort of half silence. Like one person isn't saying anything, the other one shares, and then the person that is hearing that just simply reflects back what they heard. And then the last piece, which I think just everything else is kind of a build-up to this.
Yeah.
It's called an ally circle. It was basically created by the Radical Fairies, this group of anarchist queers in California that do events and have a couple eco-villages and stuff. It's basically a circle of all the people that are, getting together for this, and one person steps out and shares something they're afraid of, they're ashamed of, or they otherwise want to like release, they want to be seen in, they want to get off their chest. And then everyone who shares that experience step into the middle with them. You stop for a second, make eye contact, breathe together, and turn around and see the rest of that circle who doesn't share your experience, but is right there holding you and seeing you and loving you. And I mean, by the end of that, half of us didn't even know each other's names at any point there, but like 12 or 14 of us just like bawling and just holding each other, and like so much love, so much connection in 1 hour. That's all it takes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was mind blown by that. Yeah, I participated, and I literally could not believe how vulnerable everybody allowed themselves to be. Like, starting with the eye contact, you really get to know somebody on a level that's like supersedes language and everything else. And that creates that level of comfort to where then you can go into the circle and really let something off. I remember I was emotional before we even started that part. And I actually released something that was very personal to me that honestly like almost like took a year off my life as far as like the recovery from it. And it was really powerful, man, and it was so hard to release. It was an emotional thing. My sister was there, you were there, you know what I mean? It was tough, but holy shit, was it necessary? Holy shit, was it powerful? And holy shit, did I feel good when 2 other people walked in and shared the exact same experience and like just, you know what I mean, just held me. And it's funny, because we were all men. And like, when's the last time like men have like just stared into each other's eyes in compassion? Think about how taboo that is in society. Oh, dude, that's weird. You're weird. I would never do that. No, what it is that like that's communication. And that's why men are so disconnected from their feelings and so outrageous all the time. Because they never learned how to connect like that. But it was so beneficial and so healing, and I didn't even have to take a drug. I was 100% sober, and I literally, it was like so much more powerful than even some of the psychedelic experiences that I've had. So thank you for doing that, man.
Absolutely. That's why I wanted to do that. I had no idea, like that idea came to me when Macy reached out to ask if I wanted to do a workshop. And I was like, okay, I was just looking at these things, and then they came together, and you know, I was looking at all the other speakers and stuff, and it's largely plant medicine stuff. It's largely about the psychedelics. It's largely about those external tools for healing and for connection and for insight, which are amazing tools. They change tons of people's lives. Like, I wouldn't be here where I am right now if it wasn't for Azaress and mushrooms. Like,
same, bro.
Know? But we can't be dependent on these tools.
Exactly.
And those tools can't be a part. Like, you can't be doing ayahuasca every day. You can't be doing peyote every day. Like, we can't live that way. We have to learn to connect and do this healing work with just the tools that we already have, with our voice, with our eyesight, with our ears. Like, that's the thing that we can do every single day. Whether you've got a partner or a housemate or whatever, you can wake up and be like, hey, how are you feeling today? I'm here for you if you need something. Like, we can do that, and every single person on the planet can do that.
It's innate in all of us. And that's why, and it's funny because when me and you talk about anarchism, it seems that, it's funny, I guess I've always felt this way, but you really brought it to the forefront of my consciousness about how that seems to be sort of the base area that needs to be addressed, or base change that needs to be made. Because like, even within anarchist circles, because people aren't fully healed, there seems to be some turmoil. So even without the government, we might still run into some problems unless we address the connection we have to one another, and how base and primal, or excuse me, like the primacy of that, and how necessary it is. And it's oftentimes the hardest for people to address because it involves them turning inward and facing sometimes their deepest fears and deepest pains. And I even find that like so many times I'll be talking with anarchists and I'm like, yeah man, cryptocurrency, and then everything's fine.
Right.
And then there's like that moment of like the unease is still there. Because what that is that unaddressed healing. Or that unaddressed trauma. So, but after our event, that 1 hour, we didn't discuss one topic about any of the central banks or anything like that, but yet the healing and the incredibleness and like the empowerment that everybody felt after that was so much stronger than these conversations. And what it breeds is then you can bring that into these conversations and into this movement and into whatever structures, cryptos, whatever we decide to build. So yeah, I'm really in agreement with you, man. I think that this is where we have to start as a community.
Absolutely, and there's so many people that are already doing this healing work on their own, or in groups or whatever, that aren't anarchist, like think they aren't. Everybody's an anarchist. Some people are just got a little mind virus that makes them think they're not. But even those people are more open to having these conversations because they're having the healing. And if you go, like when I go to a Solsara retreat and there's 30 of us for a weekend, we're all doing this work together and we're moving this and there's all this emotional connection. When I do bring things up, when I do bring up the philosophy or the economics or any of this, people are really open to listening to it because I'm not just some guy. Even if they know that I'm an intelligent guy, you're still just some guy. There's someone that they have a really strong heart connection with. So even if they start to get that cognitive dissonance, the heart overpowers it. And they're like, well, I know this person. I know them. I can listen to what they're saying even if it doesn't feel good. And I think it's two-sided, the importance of this healing and this connection work, really. Because on the one side is the trauma. And we know, like, hurt people. Like, almost every single sex offender was sexually assaulted. Almost every single murderer had a death in their close family as a child. So we know how much that trauma has to be healed to not continue creating more violence.
Yeah.
And then on the other side, connection, that idea of being connected with each other, that seeing the similarities, whether it's in our experience or just in our emotions. The fact that we all experience fear, we all experience grief, we all experience anger, we all experience sadness. Those things are what help us see each other all on the same level. You know, if everyone really saw every other person as a full human with the same range of experience that they do, the same difficulties, the same kind of traumas, think how hard it would be to convince someone to take money to go kill other people.
Exactly. Wow. That is the moment of Zen.
Yeah.
That is the omega point of this movement.
Yeah.
Kenny, thank you so much, man. I couldn't be more happy to have done this
Thank
interview.
you.
You're a great friend, man. I cannot wait to just keep hanging out with you and doing this shit for eternity.
Thank you so much for having me, and thank you all for tuning in.
Hey, and you think you might make it to Anarchadelphia?
Oh yeah, September 14th, 16th. Yep, I'm like 90%. I gotta check a thing that I may have agreed to already, but yeah.
All right, well, if you can make it happen, we'll get you down there, all right?
Definitely. I'd love to.
Thank you, Kenny.
Thank you.
Join the State of Anarchy this September's Harvest Moon in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, where this gathering of like minds aims to foster unbreakable relationships between the movement's leading forces, whom teach self-love and ownership, blockchain techno-economics, as well as exposing the Earth's sacred hidden knowledge. So will we see you there?